Hi, welcome to your meditation journey with me. I'm so excited to have you here. And in this orientation video, I will guide you on what to expect and how to prepare for your sessions. So let's get started. Before we dive into the logistics, let's align on why you need to meditate. So, through these sessions, my intention is to guide you into the depths of your own inner being. You see, over my 12 years of practice, I've experienced that in the stillness of our minds lie the answers to all that we seek. But the thing is that are we able to go within? We are all so distracted by the noise of the outside world that we don't take pause and connect with our own inner selves, with our higher selves, the part of us that holds all the wisdom and clarity that we need, the one who's always at peace and filled with love and insights. So, meditation is an invitation to rediscover this connection and allow the answers within you to naturally unfold. My purpose as a coach is to create a container or a space and to guide you to go within so that you can communicate with your own inner self, your real self. And to nail this point, I'd like to share an analogy. Our mind is like a river. And when the river is disturbed and turbulent, the water is all cloudy and it is difficult to see what is beneath on the surface of the riverbed, right? So this represents the mind. When it's filled with thoughts and worries and distractions, and a chaotic mind prevents insights and clarity. Well, on the other hand, when the river becomes still and all the sediments settle, the water becomes clear, allowing you to see the bottom of the river clearly. And this represents the mind in a meditative state. As thoughts settle, the mind becomes calm, clarity and insights emerge on its own, so that you have a deeper understanding and connection with your own inner self. So you see that your inner wisdom is your intuition. And as you start to meditate, you'll start notice it becoming stronger and stronger. Your creativity will flourish, your focus and productivity will increase, and you'll develop an emotional resilience to handle any challenge that life throws your way. Your inner self will guide you from within, purifying your thoughts and bringing more internal harmony. And when your internal state is joyful, the world outside feels perfect. But when your inner world is chaotic, no matter how beautiful life is on the outside, you won't be able to fully enjoy it. And that's the beauty of meditation, to create that joyful inner state. So now that we're clear on why meditation is important, let's dive into what meditation actually is, right? So, in simple terms, meditation is about training your mind to focus. And there are many different objects of focus, which is why there are so many ways to meditate. You could focus on your breath, or a chant, or a candle flame, or you could just focus on the beauty of nature while you're walking outside. It could also mean a mindful eating where you dive into every sensation of every bite, or a guided meditation where you follow the guidance of a coach or a teacher. So, in theory, it's simply focusing on one object. And it sounds really simple, but is it easy? Well, not really. This is where the work begins. So your mind behaves like a restless monkey, jumping from one thought to the other, sometimes with an agenda and other times without an agenda. So meditation helps you to discipline this monkey mind so that it works for you rather than against you. And just like Rome wasn't built in a day, it takes time for mind to adapt to the practice of meditation. That's why it's called practice. The more you do it, the better you become, right? Think of it like going to a gym to build muscles. The results don't show up the first day, right? You have to go consistently, work out, and push through that initial resistance when your body feels sore and your mind tells you to skip. But if you stick with it, you'll start to see your body transform. And meditation works in the same way. At first, your mind will resist, it will make noise, it will react because it's not used to stillness. But if you keep at it, day by day, you'll begin to experience a transformation happening within, in how you think and how you feel. So I definitely recommend committing to at least 10 consecutive sessions to fully experience the magic of what meditation can do for you.
Give yourself the time and watch how it starts to change your inner world and eventually your outer world. So now let's get into the logistics. I recommend meditating in the same spot on the same cushion each day where you won't be disturbed. Right? It helps create a consistent practice, and also you build that energy of that space. There's a memory, right, that builds up with that cushion and everything, and it'll help you go deeper faster. And if you're joining online, I suggest that you use headphones for an immersive experience. And a sleep eye mask will also help you fully dive into that session. So I love using Mindfold mask. I have a lot of stickers here, but this is the mask that I use. It is completely darkening eye mask. It's available on Amazon for $15-16. You can use it. You can order it for yourself, but any sleep mask will work. What else? Now let's talk about the posture. So, the way you sit really impacts your meditation experience. So, you want to find a sweet spot between being comfortable and being alert. And how do we do that? By sitting with the spine erect. Spine erect, chin slightly tucked in, hands resting on your lap. And we'll go into the mudras after this. So, finding that sweet spot is the key, being too comfortable or too relaxed. If you're sitting like this and meditating, it'll make you drowsy and you'll sleep and you'll be more thoughts and there'll be more noise. You can't help it. But if you're sitting too stiff and you create too much of tension, that will also take away from your meditation experience. So balance is the key. And when you're sitting with your spine erect, find that position, that comfortable position where you find, like I like to sit on my sit bones of my hips and then slightly pelvic in front and back straight. Right. So if you're in the studio, we'll be sitting cross-legged on a cushion or a mat. But if you're at home, you can also sit on a chair with your feet flat on the ground. And there's another posture about kneeling. Kneeling down with your back straight is also a good posture. So see what works best for you. Okay. So now let's talk about the hand mudras. If you're familiar with the hand mudras, you can simply use the classic Gyan mudra, where you touch the tips of your thumb and your index finger together and rest your hands on your knees, palms facing up. This mudra is known to improve concentration and cultivate wisdom and knowledge. And there's another theory to it, is that the thumb represents the supreme consciousness and the index finger represents the individual consciousness. So supreme consciousness, think of it as Paramatma, and the index finger is the individual consciousness as Atma. So it is said to represent the union of Atma with Paramatma, and it helps to create a circuit of energy that allows the download of information from the supreme self to our individual selves. But if that doesn't resonate, you can also simply let your hands rest in your lap on your knees, either hands down or hands up. I personally like hands down position on my knees because it helps me ground. Especially during the breath work, I like to put my hands on my knees facing down. Another mudra is Bhairava mudra, which is placing one hand in the palm of the other in your lap. So bringing a union between the two sides of the brain. So each hand represents left hemisphere and right hemisphere. They also represent the masculine energy and feminine energy. So our right side is a masculine energy and the left side is a feminine energy. And by doing so, you're kind of balancing the two energies. So just placing like this in your lap when you're sitting. Okay, so now that we have understood about our physical posture, let's talk about a mental posture. So first of all, I would want to make it clear that there is no right way or wrong way to meditate. So don't worry about getting it right. So, a lot of times I see people have these wrong ideas about meditation. Like I need to stop my mind from thinking, or I kept trying not to think in my whole entire meditation. And they get overwhelmed with their own thoughts, and it's so hard work to trying the mind to stop from thinking that they get exhausted and they give up. But here's the thing: you cannot stop your mind from thinking. That's just what mind does. It thinks. How can you stop the mind from thinking from its own nature? right? The water knows how to flow, and the water will always flow. So you cannot say, I can hold the water in my hand and it will not flow. So it's an impossible task. So give up that notion that you have to stop your mind from thinking. So here's my tip: don't try to control your experience. Just go with the flow and follow the guidance I'll share with you in the session. And do the best that you can, and that's enough. So, meditation is not about stopping your thoughts, it's about stepping back and observing them. Think of it as becoming like a conscious or a curious observer to see what's happening inside you. Like, what's going on within me? Oh, my mind is thinking about this. No, where is the guidance? Okay, I come back to the guidance. And again, it will start wandering, and you keep coming back on the guidance. So let go of any expectations, any comparisons to what you may have read or heard before, or any self judgment, like wondering if I'm doing this right, how do I get this right? So, some of us are overachievers and we want to nail everything right in the first hands. So let go of all of that and make it ease, just easily sitting in that space and see where I go. What is it about? Let me see and let me experiment with it. I think experimentation is a good way to phrase this. And be gentle with yourself during the session. It's completely natural for thoughts to arise. And with practice, you'll notice they'll come up and they'll go. And sometimes you may get caught up in them. But at the moment you realize that you've caught up in them, you have to simply return to the guidance. And that's how you will train your mind to keep coming back to that object of meditation. So trust the process and just keep showing up, and you'll see how it starts to transform within. I really love this quote from Lakshman Jewell. He says, in the battlefield of senses, where good fights with bad, right fights with wrong, just become a witness. Stay relaxed in your own true nature. Isn't that beautiful? And you'll understand the meaning of it more as you get into the experience of it. Okay, now let's talk about the flow of our session. So we start our sessions at 8 a.m. on Sunday mornings. And I would highly recommend that if you're joining on Zoom, be logged in by 7:55. And if you are planning to join us in studio, make sure you arrive in studio and settle down by 7:55. So we start strictly at 8 a.m. and we start with intention setting first. Then we get into the breath work and then move into the chanting. And then lastly, there's a short guided meditation, which I call it as a Trinity meditation. So Trinity meditation is to connect with the source energy and the earth energy. And it's my own unique process to take you into that immersive, deeper states of mind. Very special. And each session is unique in the sense, what are the energies on the planet, or what insights do I get to lead the group. So we'll do different chant, different types of breath. You don't have to prepare anything for that. You just show up, and yeah. And after our session, times some wisdom sharing. Like I'll do a small readout, because as people are coming out of their meditation, to help them ground and settle back. Online participants usually leave around as soon as the meditation gets over. And But I welcome everybody to share their insights in our WhatsApp group channel, and or even in the session. If you feel to ask or share something, definitely do that. But in our in studio session, it's more immersive sharing circle, where we will go one by one and we have a small discussion. And sometimes on very special days, I'll do some card readings. And that's a surprise that we do not plan for it, and it's based on how much time we are left with and how many people in the room. So yeah, if you're lucky, you'll get to get a card reading, and these card readings are just magical. So that's the overall gist of meditating with me and how the session will look like. And I'm really excited to see you in the studio or on online, and we'll go from there. All right. I hope this video helped. So see you soon. Take care. Bye now.